everywhere GBS.
No matter what you're doing, if you have impact, right, and you're having impact in your community, that is really the most important thing.
So let's do it, all of us. Success?
Success is the result of preparation and determination.
Awesome. Clap for yourself, guys.
Attitude is the cornerstone. Everything else grows from there.
Their mission is built by knowing a lot of things around you. So pick small things around and look ahead.
Whether you want to Google alone, you must do entrepreneurship, because you cannot sell without that.
Heaven, hell, you got to choose Mzea FDT. I got pain in my mind, pain in my heart, pain through my body like I'm burning hell. Hater number one, watch as I go. I don't live my life, manze, just like a cow. At the end point, I'm being slaughtered. This not the life that I wanted. Going to church, yo, give me a space, devil. I'm a child of a king and I'll live, yo. Live to give, live to worship, live to follow Jesus, not religion. When I delve in a deep, peaceful slumber, my life is expensive, more than an iPad. I'm a watchy, Johnny Gaddy, so I don't need to sleep, Niko Inadi. Nasachu, you got gold, I'm a prospector. Jot positive vibes on my prospectus. I need the flowers, man, before I die. When I die, don't pretend that you're crying, man. I need the upper even. I'm alive, so I need to be high, man. I need the flowers, man, before I die. When I die, don't pretend that you're crying, man. I need the flowers, man, while I'm living my life here just like a coma. Na trembo mtaani kamse ako kwa noma. Corruption inafanya makarawa na nora.
One more time, let's clap for our guest performer of the day. Nice. Good. Welcome to the show. My name is Bran Ogana, and of course, this is Talk King. And of course, we have a live audience from KTTC. Clap for yourselves, guys. Good stuff. Now, before we start the show, I would like, to begin by saying, it's always very important to always prepare yourself for an opportunity compared to when an opportunity comes to you and finds you unprepared. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. So what are the basic fundamentals of you preparing yourself and embracing that opportunity? So that will be the topic of discussion. So sit back, relax, and of course, if you can access social media, you can go and like our page, that is Talking TV Show, and of course, follow us on Twitter at Talking TV Show, and be part of this debate. Keep it trending. Remember, it's all about preparation for opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities out there, and believe you me, you need to change your mindset for you to focus and, of course, untap that opportunity and go head on and face that particular opportunity. So are you ready for today's topic and, of course, the guest speaker of the day? Yeah. Are you ready for him? Yeah. I'm telling you, his title is this big. His title is this big. He's heading one of the most, and of course, it's one of the companies that you cannot do without. Are you familiar with, the slogan that always goes, you can get your answers through Google? Yes, he's definitely the man heading that organization. So it tells you a lot, from a director position, holding an MBA, tells you a lot. So one thing is for sure, you're in safe hands. And I always tell people, empty yourself, be like an empty glass in order for the water to be filled in you. Okay? So empty yourself, whatever you think you know. At this particular moment, you know nothing. Okay? Empty yourself totally and accept to get hold of what he will instill in your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to introduce Charles from Google, the CEO from Google, the country region. Let us all welcome Charles as he takes center stage.
I'm going to actually talk a little bit about something that I'm really passionate about, right? And this is about job creation, right? Why is that important? I was talking to Dr. Louis Pale, earlier, and he was telling me he employs 160 people, right? And he's, shall I embarrass you and say how old you are? Louis is only 33 years old, right? He employs 160 people. And the most amazing thing about that is that it's people like Louis, right, who have gone out and have decided, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have impact. I want to help people in my community, right? That is something that's so important, right? And I'll give you the example that I want to sort of give a bit more is around tourism, right? Because I think, and I hold this so dear to my heart, because around tourism, right now, we have the worst year that we've had practically on record in terms of less than 1 million tourists are coming to Kenya this year. But, and I'll loop around, you're probably wondering why I'm talking about this. But with 1 million tourists coming to Kenya, what the challenge with that is, a lot of restaurants are closing down, a lot of hotels are closing down. 40,000 people have lost their jobs, right, in the coast area, right? You don't know how many people were selling tomatoes, potatoes, bananas, whatever that were going into those hotels, right? Really, really dire times. Now, what I want to give you is a way that you can go out and start creating jobs for yourselves, right? And you don't have to be an IT person. You can do this. One of the things that I think in Kenya we don't do enough of is when we're in school, actually working through your school career, right? From the day I went to university, day one, I was working until I graduated. And sometimes I was working more than I even went to school, right? But I'm not saying that's what you should do. I know Professor is looking at me and saying definitely not. But there's something called AdWords, right? This is a Google product. It's an advertising product. And you should all go out, research a little bit about it, and become AdWords certified. The reason I'm saying this is it's something that I do right now in terms of work in the advertising business. But in the advertising business, digital advertising is really at the early stages. In essence, it's at the infancy. So I was sitting with someone who works in one of the big companies here in Kenya. And she asked me if I know a really great digital expert to help them with their digital marketing. And what she said to me was so powerful. She said, I don't care how much experience they have in traditional marketing, but if they're really good at digital marketing, I will train them the other stuff. So right now, in Kenya right now, you have a short window of opportunity whereby if you study digital, if you study IT, if you study digital marketing specifically, there's so many companies right now that are trying to get people to implement and help them market their products online, that if you have that expertise, you can do one of two things. One of three things. One, you can work for an agency like Scan Group or Bean or Saracen or all these different Zulojo who do digital marketing and advertising. Or you can work for a company, right? And I won't name the companies, but there are many companies looking for digital experts right now. And third, you can actually start your own agency, right? And with your own agency, you can go out and you can literally get small businesses, help them get online. Louis and Daktari were talking about how do you get more of his chemists, his pharmacies online. And people then look and find those online. It's absolutely critical. So think about that. That's the sort of parting shot I will leave you with. And the way to get to that level in terms of studying, you can do it for free, right? Or you can go to school. There are certain schools which are training people on digital advertising, but you can actually do it for free, right? And the only thing you need is access to the internet. Go to google.com/AdWords. Umepata hiyo? Google.com/ How do you spell AdWords? Should I spell it? ADWORDS. Yeah? AdWords. AdWords. And with that, it's something that you can learn, you become certified. The exam is free, learning, all the material is there, become certified, and you can actually start your own campaigns and help build your own careers, right? And again, like I was saying, think about your ambition, right? Think about your North Star, and think about something that can help you today. And you never know, what's helping you today might be something that you really fall in love with and decide to actually do as a career, right? And so those are things that I think are really critical in terms of something that you can do, take away today as something practical. Go out, study, become AdWords certified. How many of you are on Facebook? Okay, who's not on Facebook? Besides me. How many of you are on Twitter or not on Twitter? You're not on Twitter? Who else is not on Twitter? You're not on Twitter. So basically, most of you are using these social sites, right? So you understand them, you get them. How many of you Google? How many of you don't Google? How many of you don't use YouTube? You see, this is great. That's why I came, by the way. Thank you. I'm nibembeleza too. So in terms of the digital platform, right? Every single time you go on YouTube, you see ads running, right? Do you know how they run? So I'm telling you how they run. Go study, right? But someone did something to get it there, right? So if you start, you can be the person behind that. And the beauty of it with digital advertising, what I keep saying is that it democratizes information and lowers the barriers to entry. So if it's easier, you want to be a journalist, you can become a journalist kesho. You can create your own TV show using your phone. Uko na simu? Wacha nione. Ama una nayo? Okay. So if you have a smartphone, you can record and create news, shoot them, right? And actually upload them every single day. And when you upload them, you create a show. And then, for starters, tell everyone here to first watch you every morning, right? Then they start sharing that information. Before you know it, you can become a journalist online, right? Before you even go look for a job at GBS or at any of the other TV stations, you can go and say, you know what? Here are daily episodes that I put up. They're only 2 minutes long. I deliver news, right? And actually look at how many people are watching me on a daily basis, right? When you go and you tell Brian or you tell Kevin that, and they see that, I guarantee you they'll hire you, right? And if they don't, call me. Right? So again, in terms of opportunity and just sort of to close it up, right? You have to really think about digital as a way of really taking and changing the way you've always thought. How many of you have gone through a hard time? Raise your hand. Who's gone through a hard time? Or maybe I should ask, who hasn't gone through a hard time? Because clearly I have gone through a hard time. I don't know anyone who hasn't gone through a hard time. But one of the things and phrases that I always say when I'm going through a really, really hard time is it can be worse, right? That's all about attitude. When I'm going through a really, really tough time, I always say it can be worse. So if it can be worse, then I know, right? Yes, it's really bad. But if it can get worse, then I shouldn't be so sad because it can always get worse. But what if that's the worst that can happen? What's the attitude? To have a positive attitude. And it's the worst that it can get. Someone tell me. What do you say at that point? Good. What do you say? You have the mic, sorry. You're on the hook. If life is as bad as it can get, you're in a situation, you look even down, you're like, I'm at the bottom, it can't get any worse, right? What's the positive attitude that you can have in that situation?
Everything happens for a reason.
True.
You trust God.
Yes.
And He's going to help you.
Absolutely. That's one side. But for me, the way I look at it, and I do trust God and I do believe He's going to help, but the way I look at it is, if it's as bad as it's going to get, then the only way is up, right? It can't get any worse. So if you've been there and it's at the bottom and it's the worst that it can get, then the only way is up. So you can then just lift yourself up, right? Shake off the dirt and move on, one step at a time, because it can't get any worse, right? Exactly. So what were you going to say on something you've learned today?
Yeah, you've said something about ambition, that you should be ambitious, but if you have to change the route just slightly, you can do that as long as you're focused.
Exactly. I completely agree. Because if you're looking at, don't be afraid to take a side step, right? Let's say, quick analogy. We're where we are today, or now, and you want to go to Mombasa Road. How many ways are there to get there from here? Huh? How many? Please, tell me. Give me a couple of examples of the way you can get there.
You can get to Thika Road.
Yes.
Then go straight to town. Then from town,
Yes.
go Uhuru Highway.
Ndio.
Then straight to join Mombasa Road. And you go.
Ukoko Airport.
Yeah.
Aya. Which other way? Give me one more.
You can go to Allsops, go through Outer Ring Road
Yep.
up to JKIA.
Yes.
You join the Mombasa Road, the other way.
Na bado unafika airport.
Yeah.
Give me a third one.
It's quite
Brian,
challenging.
nisaidie. So, third one.
The
Ama
third one,
nikusaidie?
yeah, you can assist me there.
You can take the Eastern Bypass.
Oh yeah, the Eastern
Right?
Bypass.
It's longer.
It's longer, but
But you get there.
You will get there.
Through Cabanas,
Yeah, it's true.
turn left, uko
Yeah,
hapo.
but there.
Sindio?
Yeah.
So what does that say? There are many ways to get to your destination, right? And so don't always get stuck, right? One of the things I hear a lot of people graduating, they are saying, I want a job, I'm going to become a manager, I want to become a manager, I want to manage people, right? And I keep challenging people and saying, on what basis do you want to manage anyone? What do you know about management, right? And yes, sometimes I blame our parents or our grandparents or people around who we grow up with who said, grow up, you become a manager. But that doesn't mean anything, right? At the end of the day, what you need to do is build something that has impact, right? Always think about that. No matter what you're doing, if you have impact, right, and you're having impact in your community, that is really the most important thing. If you wanted to open up a shop today, right? Let me take this and I'll have someone, I'll pick on you, right? Don't be nervous. If you wanted to open a shop today selling clothes, what would the process be? Please tell us.
I'll look for a shop
Yes?
and find for a place where I can go and buy the goods.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else? What would it cost you? Sorry? Right? That's sort of in the gist of what usually happens, right? If you're trying to get a business up, you look for a location, right? You go, you look for goodwill, right? They first charge you a lot of money. They call it goodwill, right? Now you have to think about that before you even get the key, right? And then as soon as you've paid goodwill, they ask you for a few months' rent, right? So you sit there and you ask yourself, what is that goodwill for? So it's meant to be goodwill, but you're not feeling so good, are you? Right? So you do that, then you have to go look for inventory, you have to hire people, etc., 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 right? That is usually the process. And in essence, what I'm saying about digital is you can literally take a whole series of those things and actually remove them, right? If you have a friend who does IT, you can create an IT e-commerce site, and people are starting to buy from these sites. Jumia, right, is one of those sites which is gaining so much momentum. Rupu, Pigia Me, OLX. Nani anajua OLX? Kilimall, right? The list goes on and on and on. And you can start your own e-commerce site and actually build a business on this. So think about digital, right? We live in a digital world. Nyinyi nyote, you've grown up with mobile phones, you've grown up with the internet. Si kama mimi, when I was actually younger, there was none of this. So basically, think about digital as something that can transform your life. And with that, I will close and say thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me.
Wow.
Okay?
Well, thank you so much, Charles.
Thank you.
Do you feel light? Eh? You've gotten something, eh? Something so powerful. I mean, who would have ever thought? Simple things that you can utilize, capitalize, and of course, they will make you and take you places that you never knew you will go, right? Thank you so much, Charles.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So let's clap for Charles once more as he goes and takes his seat. Good, 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 good. Now, this particular juncture will be, of course, heading towards, the second segmentation. That is, of course, we will invite our panelists to come and discuss even more. So be part of the debate, participate, ask questions in regarding towards this particular topic. So right at this particular moment, I'm welcoming, of course, our panel who will come and discuss and blow the topic on another level. Are you ready for our panelists of the day? Yes. Are you ready for them? Yes. So let us all welcome our panelists as they take center stage. Let's keep going, guys. Awesome, 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 awesome. Would like to know them, right? So let us learn, get to know our panelists as we take today's topic on a level. Let me start with my immediate right.
All right. Hello. Hi, my name is Dr. Louis Machogu. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a founder of Halton's Pharmacy. It's a chain of pharmacies. We have 36 pharmacies as of now. We are closing the year at 50 pharmacies. So what we are doing is we are delivering affordable quality care to Kenyans wherever it is that they live. So we are currently in Nairobi, Eldoret, Kisumu, and the idea is to paint the whole of Kenya green, Halton's green. Yeah.
My name is Margaret Muga. I'm Mrs. Muga. I'm a teacher. And my ambition was to be a teacher. So now I teach entrepreneurship development. And at KTTC, any subject, any course you do, whether you want to Google alone, you must do entrepreneurship. Because you cannot sell without that. And therefore, I congratulate this young man next to me. Pharmacy and entrepreneurship. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. And okay, I'll begin by saying that my name is Wycliffe, engineer Wycliffe Amolo. I'm a graduate of many universities, from Moi University, Jomo Kenyatta, and Technical University of Sweden, where I did masters, and I did advanced entrepreneurship and marketing. So I'm happy to be here, and I thank God because this opportunity has come, and we are ready for everything.
Wow, thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, as you can see, of course, we have a vibrant panelist over here. So, of course, later on, it will be an engaging panel whereby, of course, you can get to ask questions and then redirect them to our panels. And, of course, our guest speaker, unfortunately, had to dash out. He was running somewhere. But all the same, we are still in the right direction. Now, based on the particular topic of discussion, we were talking about, preparing yourself for opportunities. Most of the time, an opportunity might come our way, but we don't know how we can grab this particular opportunity. Now, Wycliffe, in your own way, how can, someone reprogram themselves in, of course, the basic fundamentals of, getting an opportunity, seeing this an opportunity, and taking that opportunity and running with it as fast as possible?
Thank you. I know it is a good question, and is okay. According to my experience, anyway, the first thing that you need to do is to, just like you've been told this evening, that the ability, you must have been in a position that you know you can do the job, and therefore, if you can do the job, then take it up. Don't look aside and say there's somebody else who can run for it. Take yourself with the first person, and trust that when you have the ambition and you go with the force, then I think you can get it.
All right, awesome. Now, Dr. Louis, our guest speaker talked about, attitude. How vital is attitude? Having in mind, people have different ways on how they think attitude or define attitude. Someone can tell you, why would I go to school? So-and-so is successful. I can also be like so-and-so. How important is attitude? And majorly, basically, looking at it, the right attitude. What is this right attitude?
Okay. Yeah, so attitude is simply put, just having all these things we learned today. Ability, what was the other one? Ambition. All these things mean nothing if the attitude is not aligned to something. Yeah. So I'll use, for example, my own story. So attitude, for example, I graduated with a B.Pharm from University of Nairobi. My first posting, I grew up in Mombasa, studied in Nairobi, I think in Eldoret also at some point. My first posting was to Maralal. I don't know if any of us know where Maralal is. Yeah, I was going to be the county district pharmacist then of Maralal district, Samburu district. So Maralal was the head. You drive up to Nyahururu, you reach a place, change the matatus, enter beat up matatu, there's no road, all the way to Maralal for like almost 200 kilometers. And of course there are bandits in between. I stayed there and served Kenyans in that area for 2 years as their pharmacist, set up things and systems. Now, of course the first time I reached there, I can't say I had the most glowing attitudes. Yeah, I reached there and I was looking at this sort of remote place I've been sent to. Even communicating with the patients, I had to do it through a translator sometimes. And of course, the initial attitude was one of, maybe I just need to keep on looking for a job in Nairobi, so I kept coming back to Nairobi every weekend almost. At some point, it just dawned on me I would probably die on the way because, the bandits attacks and all those things. Yeah. So I was sort of forced to the right attitude. I didn't have a choice. And part of that was just realizing what are your abilities, what is it that God has given you. Yeah. So God has given me this ability to listen to people and, be a healer. And I've been trained in that. So yeah, so just looked at it and seen what is it that I can do, and I can do what I can do here in Maralal, and that's when the need of serving Kenyans wherever they are came up, and that's how the story of Haltons came up. So if you look from now backwards, you can say I had a good attitude, but I didn't start with the right attitude. Yeah, but sometimes attitude can be it's a choice. Yeah. Everything else, it's a choice, yeah, and it's you to choose that. Whatever challenge is put before you, how are you going to handle it? How are you going to face it? Yeah. So that's, for me, I'd say attitude is the cornerstone. everything else grows from there. Everything else will grow out of there. Yeah.
Awesome. Wycliffe, let me throw it into you. Ambition. What's the basis of having an ambition? How important is having an ambition? Like for you, did you have ambitions?
Yeah, indeed, ambition is good. You know, generally, in any way, if you have idea, most of these ideas start when they're so small. A lot of people fail because they think that they can start big. But you know, when you start small, you have saved some little money, or you have looked for a source of money and you've gotten it. What you need mostly here is that you start from small and say, I know I'll grow. And you build up that small business. Challenges are there, but you stick to it and say, as much as these things are all, the problems are coming in, but I want to build it because this is the only chance that I have. So the ambition is to look ahead with the small things that you have here and fight for it. And it is always said that you should know something in everything. So the ambition is built by knowing a lot of things around you. So pick small things around and look ahead so that you can put up things together and you'll go very far. For me, generally, I started small, even education. But I thank God because I got many scholarships. In every level, I was getting some money. Government was giving some education. And also I got scholarship to go abroad. But then, even now, I'm not just stopping there. I have ambition to become a professor one day and manage big things. Indeed.
Awesome. Great. Now, I would like to put, Dr. Louis in a spot a little bit. Ladies, forgive me for saying this, but it's something that happens, and I feel it needs to be addressed. There is this euphoria. Ladies, most of the ladies, not all of the ladies, basically, they usually opt for a shortcut. They'll be like, okay, why would I struggle in fighting for my ambition? Why I can opt for this shortcut and obtain what I want. Dr. Louis, how can this mindset be changed, Because again, it's a vibrant youth that we need to, of course, uplift and, of course, channel them to the right direction. How can this mindset be changed, and, of course, focusing in your ambition?
All right, the attitude of shortcuts.
Yes.
Yeah. So shortcuts, it's not just young women. Everyone. Shortcuts is like you take the attitude of water. Water will always take the path of least resistance. Yeah. So in my 33 years of existence, as you were told earlier, if one thing that I know that has been key, in getting me to where I am, and many others that I've seen, because there are many young, I'll call them maybe successful in the eyes of just what the world will see, but it just comes down to integrity. Your word should mean something. Yeah. I remember when we started practicing pharmacy in 2006. We'd go there, serve our clients with passion, deliver what we are saying. But of course, the client will run away, listen to the message, run away, go buy it where it's cheaper. Yeah. But forgetting that where it's cheaper, there's no integrity, really. Yeah. The reason why even you came here is because there's something around integrity. So as we young, the youth, because I'm still a youth, I'm under 35. So the thing is this: lay a plan out, put timelines. Yeah, and when timelines are not working out, again, change the route, seek advice. So for anyone who's choosing another way other than that, that's called a shortcut, and it always leads to a place that, has no mbele wala nyuma. You'll find your place in a place where you know, you can't explain how you reach there, and you can't even tell where up is from down. Yeah, and it's again, it's not just women; it's just all. Even us, guys who are above 35 will still look for shortcuts. And the thing is, your word should mean something, and it comes back from knowing who you are and your abilities. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So at this particular joint, we agree no shortcuts, eh? Yeah. We're going full throttle the right way. Eh? Eh? All right. Now, this particular juncture, we're going, of course, to question and answer. So feel free, ask questions in regards to this particular topic. So if you have a burning question, just raise up your hand. I'll pick you, and then you can start by saying your name, what are you majoring in, and then ask your question. So yes, who will go first? All right. Who has my microphone? All right.
Okay, my name is Jeff Maaga. I'd like to ask the panel that in our road in achieving the goals that we need in future, there's some challenges which you are facing as like young ambitious entrepreneurs. How are we going to face these challenges and take the risk so that we can reach our goal? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's clap for him. Yes, pass there.
I always wanted to be a manager. I'm interested in the field of management. But you said you had a number of pharmacies, but by the end of the year, you've set a goal that you want them to be 100 or 50, the way you said. So how do you manage the people, resources, and money so that you can get the number you want by the end of the year?
All right, nice question. Daktari, kindly address on her issue. How do you manage yourself in regards, to opportunities, time, and packaging as a manager? How do you manage, being a manager and overseeing all this? And of course, Mwalimu, I would like you to take the question in regards to opportunities. And then I would like you, what is your feeling, when with this particular phrase, fake it till you make it, and an opportunity has unveiled itself. And of course, engineer, I would like you to tackle how to face challenges when they come your way. So, yes.
All right. For you to be an entrepreneur, you just need faith. That things will, it's a vision. The entrepreneur is the person who has the vision. It doesn't necessarily have to be the person who does everything. Yeah. But since 2007 October when we started Haltons, up until 2013, yeah, I was everything. I was the HR. I had each and every of the stuff. I was the IT guy. All those Google things, locations, putting them on the internet, developing the website, and all those things. All those things stood by me. But one thing that you'll know, you'll only grow by your limited abilities. Yeah. So I'm not the best in HR management. So hire the best in HR management. I'm not the best in finance management. Hire the best in finance management. They might not be the best, but they have the right attitude, and you're able to inspire them, or they are able to drive themselves and see those opportunities that come up, and for the business to grow. So yes, in this industry where we are in, you have to look for all these stores to plant the seed. Yeah, so plant a Haltons wherever it is that you put stocks in there, you put staff with the right attitude again to talk to the clients, understand them. So again, the vision of serving Kenyans in a dignified way is perpetuated in all these branches. So at the end of the day, the entrepreneur is the person who puts the vision. Then all these specialized people that you get, yeah, are the people who now come and put the systems, yeah, in place. Yeah, is this taking us the way we want? So you put a system and test the system. If it's taking us back in a different direction, then it's not the right system. Look for another one until you get one that So again, the HR, my dad was a HR manager for many years in Mombasa. And I liked what he did because it created opportunities for people to, he pick talent and nurture it and grow. So again, for me, it's because I am passionate about pharmacy. So I can't be in all these 50 pharmacies, but I'm able to inspire others to, again, go and, if you're served in Kasarani, if you're served in Ruai, Eldoret, Kisumu, the person who serves you could be a copy of me. But they were a copy of me because of the inspiration. They could even be better than me. Yeah. So when you're the HR aspect of it is being able to inspire people, identify the talent, most likely identify the people with the right attitude, because everything else can be taught. Yeah. You can't teach attitude. Yeah. Someone must want to be of the right attitude. Must want to be of the right character. Those things you can't teach. You can teach someone to be a pharmacist. Yeah. You can teach someone customer service. You can teach do they have the right attitude to again do what is expected? So yes, I'm able to sleep sometimes at night without waking up, because I know that we have the right people and the systems are there to ensure that they don't forget and do the wrong thing. Yeah.
All right. You good? Awesome. Let's clap for him. Mwalimu.
First, you said that there is a saying that opportunity knocks once. It will only be interpreted, according to me, that it knocked once and it was taken that once. But we have opportunities. They knock and we let them pass by. Let me say a married woman or a married man, you'll never know how to talk to a younger person. Unfortunately, in psychology, what you miss when you are young, you go back to it when you are old. So you'll find that a lady now wants to date young men because she started with old men, and vice versa. Is that right, really? It was that opportunity. So your opportunity, you have to work for it and identify it first. So I don't believe that it comes once. Maybe identification comes once. That is my belief. But you need to believe in yourself and believe in others who can help you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Since you are next to me, let me just put you on spot. What have you gotten, from, this entire debate?
Thank you. What I've really gotten from the debate is that we need a lot of determination and hard work put together with God. You will succeed in what you are doing. Personally, I've gained a lot because I've tried severally to succeed, but somehow, somewhere, we find that we get challenges. But right now, at least I have something to go and do, because I have known that we have to give up in what you are doing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Is the feeling mutual? I mean, you don't have to necessarily run away from, challenges and your fears. You have to work for it. All right. So basically, this leads us to the end of our show. But before we wind out, a parting shot from, of course, our panelists. Let me start with you, Engineer Weekly.
Yes, I just want to encourage the viewers that every day has a new thing, and if the new thing comes, a new opportunity, look for it. But at the same time, don't just rely on one thing. Diversify your business so that you can avoid many risks.
All right, thank you so much. Daktari.
I think Mwalimu here and Engineer can say the thing that they envy about any of the youth who are seated here is that they have the time. Yeah, where I am 33, probably someone else who's 23. So that means the journey that took me 10 years can probably take any of you here easily 3 to 5 years. Yeah, and it's just picking from the from the wisdom and the the parts of various people that I've taken. So identify yourself with a mentor, something like that. And that sort of, a challenge shared is when you discuss with someone about your challenge, and it's halved. So that means you're already halfway there. So I just encourage you have time. So this is the right time to start a business, right time to take that additional degree you wanted to do, or whatever vocation that you want to do. This is the right time because you have time ahead of you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mwalimu, less than 1 minute.
As he has said, they have time. I'll say you have the world, and the world is a village, isn't it? And in our village market, we know who is selling what, at what time, at what price, isn't it? Now that one has been brought to your Google. So yours is easier. I'm happy that we have at KTTC, we have, the students have started something which they call the hub, KTTC hub. What equivalent to what he was telling them, to have a platform. And you have people, lecturers. One of the best in that in Kenya is the head of Department of Computer Studies. It's renowned. He has taught the big in those. He's also a consultant of Microsoft the world over, and he has traveled the world, and you have him there, isn't it? So take the best what the world can give. You also give the best. Please don't think that if people are looking like this, you must be different, because you will be in a jungle. For us, I think I'm the oldest here. They are proud to tell you their ages. Me, I'm not. But I think I might be one of the youngest, because life starts at 40. So I'm just those years above 40. And until you die, you learn. Please be somebody who can learn, and learn something that is beneficial to you, to your family, to the community in which you live, to your country, above all, to your country. And if you embrace all that, you'll be the best in the world. And we pray for you to succeed. And remember, there is no shortcut. What you enjoy today will not last tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, our panelists, of course, for unveiling your time and being here. And of course, this brings us to the end of the show. And of course, this particular show could not be a success without the live audience from KTTC. I've got it right? Yeah. Awesome. I mean, clap for yourselves. Awesome. Now, remember, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We have a lot of giveaway prizes. Of course, keep this topic trending. Packaging yourself to achieve, the potential. Of course, some of the opportunities that are out there. So keep this topic trending. And of course, we have a lot of giveaway prizes that we are giving out thanks to Google. So before I end the show, I'd like to leave you with this. Life, there is no shortcut with life. You have to thoroughly prepare yourself and equip yourself without opportunity that is next to you. Now, until next time, I've been your host, Brian Ogana. Let's do this. Same place, same time. Always keep it Talk King. And we are out.
Now, there's two issues. Education from home, education from school. You cannot be a doctor who's not educated. You can't be a scientist who is not educated. We don't believe who we are. It's like we are being represented by somebody else.
Number one, education starts from home. I think who I am today has a lot to do with the education that I had when I was growing up.
Australian global education, they're bringing to Africa to help you.
We've learned what global education is and how we can apply global education.
Everywhere GBS.